What's up, graphic designers? You may recognize this as Starry Night by Vincent van Gogh. And this is an example by Adonla, who created this using the eyedropper tool in Photoshop a couple years ago here at Lab. And here's another example by Tiffany. And this is her rendition of The Persistence of Memory by Salvador Dali. So we're going to take some inspiration from Adonla and Tiffany, and we're going to be creating these forgeries or simply recreating famous paintings using the eyedropper tool. What is the eyedropper tool and how does it work? Well, that's a great question. Before we go on any further, you know what I'm gonna do, guys? We're gonna find an inspiring painting that resonates with us. Maybe it's this other Van Gogh. Sure, let's grab this Van Gogh painting. I'm gonna right click, I'm gonna copy image. In Photoshop, I'm simply gonna click File, New, Enter, Command V, and wow, you guys, this is a very, very small image. So when I press Command 0, you'll notice that it's very pixelated. Today we're going to want to make sure that we get high-res images so we can produce high-quality work. Well, above the foreground and the background color tab in the toolbar on the left side is this little icon where we can restore to defaults, black and white. Beautiful. Here's what I'm going to do now. You'll notice that if we shift up along the toolbar, we're going to find the eyedropper tool. I think it's 6 icons down from the top. And when we click it or simply press the letter I, we're going to pull up the eyedropper tool, and when you click somewhere on the canvas, it's going to sort of suck up that color and it's going to spit it out into the foreground color. So I'm going to left click this yellow, and you'll notice that the yellow in the foreground is now, the foreground color is now yellow. If I click the blue of the sky, the foreground color is now that bluish purplish. If I click the gray of this alleyway, you'll notice the foreground color matches. That's easy, right? That makes sense. Here's what else we're going to need to do today. We're going to need to get the hang of a new tool, a new kind of brush that's kind of amazing. So I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to press B for brush. I'm going to make the foreground color red, and I'm going to press Command Shift and Enter. I'm going to right click. I'm going to increase my brush size to, let's say, about 500. And what brush would I encourage you guys to use? It's Kyle's Real Oil. So you've got lots of brushes to choose from, but I would urge you to consider giving this a shot. And here's why. You can create some pretty cool sort of impressionistic style paintings. And this is how. I'm gonna grab another color. We'll grab a nice blue. And here's what I know. The blue and the red will merge kind of like if we were actually painting with oil paints. You'll notice that there's sort of mixing, and when we right click and drop down the side, we can create some really, really, really cool effects. Let's grab another one. Let's grab a nice green. Beautiful. I'm going to right click. I'm going to increase the size, and I'm encouraging you to experiment with this brush because because the colors sort of bleed into one another, you can achieve some really beautiful effects. It's something worth considering. All right, so let's hop on in and let's sort of jump into the last chapter. You're gonna find of this last chapter of this tutorial, you're gonna find an image that you want to recreate. So this bouquet of flowers by, looks like sunflowers by Van Gogh is speaking to me. So I'm gonna right click, I'm gonna select copy image, I'm gonna return to Photoshop, and I'm gonna press File, New, Enter, Command V. And this isn't super high res, but it's good enough for today. And if we click Window, Arrange, you'll notice that right now it's on Consolidate all to tabs, just like how your websites are tabbed in your Chrome browser. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to show you what it looks like when they're all tiled horizontally. That doesn't look amazing, right? But if we click if we click Window, Arrange, and tile all vertically, now we've got something that looks a little bit like this. So I'm going to close out those student examples we saw a moment ago, and I'm going to click out this cafe painting by Van Gogh, and if I close out this other one, we've got just this original one left, right? The bouquet that we're going to try to recreate. If we click File, New, and then we're going to click Print, I would urge you guys to consider doing the letter size, and then you're going to think about orientation. Is it in portrait mode or is it in landscape mode? I'm going to do portrait, so the width is 8.5, the height is 11 inches. I'm going to press Create, and then again, I'm going to click Window, Arrange, Tile all vertically. Beautiful. And so now the Van Gogh painting, I could press Command 0, and that maximizes the window to fill the screen. I'm going to press 0 again. It's maximized. I'm going to press I for eyedropper tool, And I'm going to select this like light grayish background. I'm going to return to our blank canvas. I'm going to press Command-Shift-N, enter, and press B. I'm going to increase the size so it's going to look a little something like this, right? I'm actually going to lighten this color just a tad. I'm going to press B, and you'll notice that it's sort of blending in the background and sort of creating that kind of effect that I'm going for. I think that looks awesome right there. All right, here's what's next. I'm not going to do an amazing job, but if I click the brown of the perimeter of this vase, and you know what? I'd be remiss if I didn't do that tablecloth. So let's get this tablecloth. And I do want to get a few more colors from it. If we had more time, I would absolutely do that. I'm going to right click using the paintbrush. I'm going to drop down the size. And it's going to look a little, you know what, you guys, let's make sure we're on a new layer. Command-Shift-N, enter. I'm on a new layer. It's going to look approximately like this. And I know that about right here, we're going to have a sunflower, right? So I'm going to do, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to zoom in a tad. I'm going to zoom in a tab on the right side as well. I'm going to use the eyedropper tool. I'm going to get, you know, some of the circle, some of the center of this flower. Miss Price is going to tell you like the precise anatomy of this kind of plant because the name escapes me. And then let's get some of these leaves. All right, beautiful. Rather than going inside out, I'm going to go outside in. So it's going to look a little something like this. This does not look amazing, does it? No, it certainly does not. But yours absolutely will. So I'm going to urge you guys to consider giving consideration to the famous paintings, and you're going to create something that looks a little bit like this, or maybe something that looks a little bit like this. Let me know if you have any questions. Good luck.